Hello, my name is Steve Bigelow with the Candlestick Forum. Kind of doing a step-by-step analysis of how you can really get an accurate trend analysis is what we teach in kind of our training each day is if this wasn't a real positive reversal signal, you weren't in the oversold area, that had to be looked on with suspicion, but there may not be a very powerful bullish move that day. Then we saw the indecision. Then obviously today was the culmination of Powell's informing everybody that they were going to continue to raise interest rates until they could slow inflation down, which meant they would have to slow the whole economy down, which meant there's not going to be real good bullish prospects. So that when that finally hit, you can see the Dow not only traded down well below the T-line, but kind of broke this little trend channel. Same scenario over here on the NASDAQ, where when they opened up here right near the top of this trading range, and we're going to bring it back down to the bottom of the trading range, they gapped down through there, through the 50, through the bottom of this range, probably making the prospects of coming down here to fill the gap very likely. So this all leads to the probabilities that we're going to have more downside. But this type of signal right there tells you exactly what you want to know what's going on in investor sentiment. Anytime you see that up move and they start selling it off, especially as we saw in Apple, they did it right here at this resistance level, and now they've broken out through this area. That implies more downside. We recommended XMTR on the fact that it gapped up, hit the 200 and traded off on a bearish left-right combo. And now on a positive or a lower open today, it would be telling us that you've got a bearish doji sandwich or wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 in progress. Now, this is a good example of not only recognizing the strong sell signals, but recognizing what type of pattern it's setting up. Same scenario on Unity. That big bearish belt hold, left-right combo. And then today they gapped it down below the last support level, making this the next likely target. Now, obviously, just because that's a target doesn't necessarily mean it's going to get there. However, that's the next likely target that everybody else is watching. What would deter us from holding it all the way down there? If we saw a very strong buy signal on the way down. So anytime we can see these bearish belt hold type signals and then follow through, that's a pretty good indication that the bears have taken control, and not only control, but strong control. There's your bearish doji sandwich down through the T-line. If it opens lower tomorrow, where's the next likely target? Back down to the 50-day moving average. So anytime we can see these bearish J-hook patterns setting up, LNC did a logical or a very observable failure at the T-line, and then they came up yesterday and still failed at the T-line. Now you've got a bearish doji sandwich, bearish J-hook pattern, making this downtrend move highly likely. Now remember, the T-line with patterns work very effectively. Notice how Summit continued its uptrend when it opened today right on the T-line and continued to trade higher. Why would we suspect that? Because there's a basic rule that if you see a very strong buying, which is what the best friend signal indicates, and it pulls back and still supports at the T-line, that's a pretty good indication that this bullish sentiment is still in progress. And again, this is what we kind of train people to look for. Patterns like a fry pan bottom. We recommended CARG gurus today based upon that if it was trading positive, what was it telling us? That the fry pan bottom breakout was still in progress and You're still above the 50, which is what everybody else is watching. Extremely good probabilities. There's more upside. So we are going to be doing a training session this Saturday, an all-day session, starting at 10 a.m., supposed to go to 2, but they never get done before 3:30 or 4 o'clock. For non-members, it's $297. For members, it's $197, but it's well worth it. You get a lot of information, and you can start recognizing what human nature produces as high probability patterns. So with that, we'll see you in the chat rooms.